So what I'm doing today is I'm going to finish coat this great big drywall joint. What it is this was a half a butt joint and this was a regular joint. So I'm combining it into one big joint. So what I did is I had used a curved trowel for the first coats, the first loading coats, and then I sanded it down flat. And now I'm going to be polishing off this great big joint, and I'm going to be using an 11-inch flat stainless steel trowel. Because this is a butt joint in a way, I need to go very wide to smooth that out and make sure it's not seen in the painted finish. So the first thing I'm going to do is just frame out the joint. And I lay on the mud like that. So by framing it out, I'm kind of just marking the width. So the goal right now is to not make a smooth finish. It's just to get the mud in place. So I'm not worried at all the way this is looking, whether it's smooth, lumpy, doesn't matter at this point. Another thing to consider when doing a big joint like this is the wall, the drywall, and the previous coat, it sucks the moisture out of the next coat. So you do have to work fast, or else it kind of gums up and then it becomes hard to work with when all the moisture is sucked out. So just working quick here. Now you're probably wondering at this point, why is my mud green? That's just so I can get some contrast so the video will pick it out, will show it. So now I'm just laying on a little more depth of mud. And you're probably also wondering is, why am I not using a huge trowel? Why am I only using an 11-inch trowel for this size of joint? I find I can just do it faster with an 11-inch trowel. It's a little more overlapping, but these small trowels, they're kind of like a sports car trowel. So, whereas the big trowels are like a semi. So I've already finished this inside corner, so I don't want to get the mud right up into it. I want to keep it clean. So I'm going to do that. Okay, so the next thing is I want to float it out. Now the mud's in place. Now I want to get it level. So I want to position the trowel flat with the wall almost. Just this edge is slightly lifted off the wall. And it's not like this. If it's like this, you'll take the mud off. If it's like that, if it's flat to the wall, it'll float it out. That's what we want. So we're not taking too much off. I'm trying not to take anything off actually, but a little bit of mud gets on my trowel. So I just kind of wipe it off. Okay, that now looks level. So next thing I'm going to do is take the edges off. So I'm tilting my trowel and I'm putting pressure at the top of the trowel just to get that top edge off. Same thing down this side. I always like to just kind of work from one direction. So the next side, just putting pressure on the bottom of the trowel. So at this stage now we are kind of taking a little bit off. So I have the edges feathered out. So now I'm just going to do some really rapid passes. And I'm going to show you up close what it looks like. Another thing that I like about the small trowel is I feel that I can just shape it. I can shape the joint a little bit. Just because it's more maneuverable. Okay, I got a few little marks to take out. Okay, so you might not have seen it when I was doing this, but what I've done, and when I was talking about the maneuverability of a small trowel for shaping, is you can see that it's thinner, a thinner depth along the edges, but in the middle I actually have a lot of mud. So it might have been hard to see what I was doing, but just the way that I was moving the trowel when I was going over it, I was actually shaping it. So you can see that what I've done is it's thick in the middle, and along the edges when I want them feathered, it's a thinner coat. And the other thing about, I should fix that. The other thing about why I like, and I'm just saying in my opinion, is I find the small trowel to be less friction on the wall, and it's easier on my shoulder. So the big trowels, they can carry a lot of friction. So you can kind of feel it at the end of the day, your shoulder kind of hurts. And for somebody that makes their money using their shoulder, that can be kind of concerning. So I use a small trowel for all my finishing, and my shoulder just feels great every day. Okay, so here is kind of the quality, and it's too bad because I actually kind of messed it up when I was showing you the depth. But over here, it is fairly smooth. I have a few little lap marks, but those sand out really easy, so I'm not concerned about that at all. When I'm done sanding this, it'll just be smooth as an oiled up dolphin. And so that's it for this video. That's how I finish coat a big joint.